Okay, hello everyone. Today we are doing a build order on Theta provided by nobody else other than Nexus. It's very simple, very short. I'm not really gonna be doing much. It's what I would call a 5 factory build order, and that's kind of it. That's as complicated as I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna something like this. You want to do 2 NGs scout or lab, 2 NGs, 2 tanks, scout, NG, 2 tanks, scout, NG. That's pretty much what you want to do and set the thingy here. And we're doing this 1 pigeon here because we are going to, what's the word? Rush in a lot of factories with this beautiful engineer. Oh yeah, yeah. Do you think he'd have time to finish before these 2 guys get here? Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I guess you've seen that. Oh shit, yeah, this is gonna make this. I forgot about that. Before you guys decide to bump each other, now you can. Okay, that was kind of weird. Very, very weird, but no biggie. Then with your next engineer, you're gonna start doing this. You want to reclaim here. Reclaim all of these things. And then come here, you're gonna need to reclaim all of these, otherwise your bio is gonna suck donkey dick. No lies there, my guy. And then we already have this other engineer. I'm gonna send this guy here, here, here. Where's the other engineer? Is there any reclaim? Nah, I'm just gonna. Then this tank I'm gonna put here. Then we already have our first factory. I know I see something here. Is that a tank? Oh, that is something. Alright, that is something. And about this time is when you want to start sending the ACU out. I'm also gonna send these 2 guys over. Oh, shit. I missed that ray, but that's okay. I'm gonna send one here. The other one over here. And then you want to send the ACU here. And then probably start reclaiming all of these pretties. Then all of these ones. I have a factory. And this is pretty much the map. I probably need more here. The AI clearly just not enough. Sadly. One of you guys needs to come here and the other one needs to come here. I'm kinda forgetting about that a little bit. You want to send these engineers to reclaim early, and then with this one you just want to continue making factories and cancel that assist order. I kinda forgot about that a little bit. But that's pretty much the build order. Oh my fucking god, are you serious? Well, no biggie. My engineer decided to move, but that's perfectly fine. No wait, it's a fit. Okay, and then after this, you want to do something like this. It's very simple map. Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. How I spent that much time. But that's pretty much the build order, to be honest. You send ACU here, one engineer this way, the other one the other way. And you make factories. Then with the next engineer, you want to start assisting. And this is why I call it the 5 land factory build order, because you have you have pigeon, the 4 mexes, the hydra, and then 5 factories. Then you want to build the 3 pigeons you're gonna need. But other than that, that's pretty much the BO. I would say try being faster by sending this guy to reclaim. Oh, mex. And sending the other guy to reclaim as well, because otherwise you're gonna be in trouble. But that's it, to be honest, guys. There's really nothing else. It's Theta, 5x5. You send tank here and here, and that's it, guys. That's the map. Well, hello everyone. Now we're gonna do the Nexus replay. This time we have Haachamacha, also known as Yudi, a really good player. But here we have Nexus. As we saw in the video, he was factory pigeon 2 mexes. Then he's gonna also make this mex with his ASU, and then he's gonna make this with the engine and so on. Well, we're not here to look at Nexus play, like the BO, but more like what the decisions are, as I think that's what I want to do with the build order. Guides, do the build order video, now do the Nexus what's our review. But yeah, he chooses to go for a scout, which is pretty good. Yudi has a very similar build order, everything minus the pigeon, he makes it here, which is like very similar. Both of them, Yudi decides to send an engineer very early here. Nexus instead is gonna have his factory here earlier than Yudi. Probably do +2. As you can see, Nexus is already what? Let's see how big the difference is. Boom. Nexus is gonna have probably like 7-8 seconds more or less with his factory being faster. I think this was a little bit bad from Nexus, the fact that he let these scouts so close to the base could have parked here or like in the middle and, you know, get more information rather than just get a shot down. But anyways, Nexus sends a lot of tanks here. I don't really agree too much with this decision. I think 2 have been good because this engine is like very rated very often, while here not so much, and then he like moves them back. So usually I would say you want to protect this engineer and this engineer, but I will protect this engineer more than this one because I feel like it's a lot easier to, like, you know, he takes longer, he's gonna be here and the enemy has to come all the way here. They take a long time here and then from here. So make sure to protect this engineer first, rather than the one down here. Like, try getting the 2 tanks first here and then here, because this one's gonna take longer. But yeah, Nexus loses this engineer, and then Yudi clearly starts capitalizing on the fact that he wants to get this. So as you can see, he starts sending an absolute amount of units this way, barely leaving these 2 here. Nexus has 3. But the point is, if Yudi gets to capture this, then he's gonna have a lead for the whole game. Both of them go down here, and if you wonder why, it's simply because here there's only 300, and I think there's like 400 here maybe. I'm not really sure why they always come here to reclaim first, but there must be some idea to it. But it's a very simple map, to be honest. As we can see, you just funnel out your tanks either here or here, and that's the map. You just make sure to put pressure with your ACU. You want to be reclaiming all of this, like as you can see in Nexus, you have a lot of reclaim here and here. And then you want to be raiding here if your opponent doesn't protect this properly. If you're able to build a PD here, or if your opponent lets you have this, it's pretty brutal. And that's pretty much the map. It's just gonna be a continuous tank fest. I would say though, if you want to win, make sure to not take bad trades, because there was a little battle here. Yudi suicided some tanks, and look at all the reclaim that there's now here. Therefore, you want to make sure you take battles you can win. You don't want to take battles you are going to lose, because otherwise you're gonna be in a world of pain if you give your opponent a couple hundred. It's probably like 300, 400 reclaim right here, and that's easily an extra factory for Nexus that Yudi doesn't have now. Also gonna be very aggressive with the ACU. We obviously keep units around, keep radar around. Make sure to not get overthrown. Don't let this happen this often. Like, Yudi keeps getting raided very early by Nexus here, and then Nexus just retreats usually. However, Yudi does have this, and building a PD here or building it here are really good ideas to stop enemy attacks. Nexus builds one here, which is gonna be really sweet, stopping almost any raid coming through here, while Yudi lacks these 3 mexes because of that. So I guess it's kinda even. But this is pretty much the map. You just continue making factories if you can afford them. and just keep attacking, and they both do the same over and over and over and over and over again. You just want to build as much T1 as possible. No Tech 2. I mean, you could do Tech 2, but it just depends. It's just that it's 5x5, and if you build Tech 2, you're gonna leave like a big space, a big window for your opponent to just overthrow you everywhere else. And let me slow it down a little bit. I'll probably lower the volume a little bit. And the biggest issue with that is simply that if you go Tech 2 mechs or Tech 2 land, you're simply leaving a big hole for your opponent to have 20 more tanks than you, and just having 20 more tanks can simply mean from taking your whole map, like, well, I cannot, taking this whole area or maybe both, because just having those 20 extra tanks is just so freaking much. Like, I think, what's the word? Yeah, just having 20 more tanks anywhere is gonna be brutal. Like, if Nexus had 20 more tanks here, he could just run over with his whole army this whole thing, which, as you can see here, Yudi has a lot of units here, and I think that's kinda bad, because Nexus has clearly way more units here. If he really wanted, he could like run this over. Like, as we can see, Nexus has 68 against how many? 46, so that's like the 20 extra tanks he needs. And if I recall correctly, Yudi ends up like losing a lot of his army here. He like, yeah, he sends his back, because look at what happens right now. Nexus has the 20 more tanks. Nexus, the ACU very out of place, excessively, like not doing anything all this time, and that's giving Yudi a lot of time to breathe. Yudi awfully low, like 4,000 something, extremely low, and he's not having these units, and that's why he's having like a way lower battle. Nexus, however, has god awful ACU management. You do not want to fight your tanks if your ACU is not in range. Why not? Simply put, because your opponent is dealing about 100 damage per second with their ACU and you're not. And it tanks shots too. The ACU tanks a lot of shots from tanks that just decide to focus it, and that just fucks you up a lot. So like, Nexus definitely could be a lot better had he not had that big fight with his ACU out of range. But other than that, that's it. So nothing's really gonna change. Yudi's taking more of the reclaim, as you can see here, so he's gonna win, simply put, because he can make more factories, get more reclaim. Guess what? Yudi gets more tonk. And if Yudi has more tonk, he has 76 plus 21 Suis against 64 plus 4, so he has like 30 more tanks slash units. He just wins. You get 30 more tanks or slash units, guess what? You just fucking win. It's basically a numbers game as long as your ACU does well. But at any point, here comes the engagement, and guess what? More tonk. And that's it. But if you have any questions, please let me know. And for anyone that's new looking at this, big advice to remember that this is a very niche and specific build. And as a new player, you don't want to be learning build orders for maps. You want to be learning core fundamentals, because having a super optimal factory, PGen, eco management for the first 5 minutes isn't gonna translate to anything if you don't have fundamentals like keeping your factories running, good ACU management. Like, you can have the perfect BO, and if the other guy, and if you hold ACU on base and the other guy goes ham, you're simply gonna lose, because he's using his ACU and his build order may be suboptimal, but you're simply missing a big skill. But thank you everyone for watching this stuff, I guess. Yeah.